ICT, Joe Mucheru. And I want to start off our discussion. Thank you for joining us this evening with what we're engaging our viewers on, our big question. We're asking, in case you missed it as well, do you think Raila's frequent allegations against various agencies are all based on genuine concerns? His latest concern that he's raised is on the military being co-opted to allegedly rig the election. What do you think of this concern he's raising?
He's been in government for many years. And so he knows that the country doesn't stop because there's elections. Military has to meet, government has to continue. We have to continue the operations. So I think there are many allegations he's making, but really he should come out with facts of saying what is it that they were then discussing that was about elections. It doesn't have the content, but just saying they met. What's wrong with people meeting?
Yeah, it's not the first concern he's raised. Several he has raised in the past. What do you think in all of them in general, in as far as elections are concerned? Are they coming from a genuine place?
Because he's been in government, I'm not convinced that it's genuine. I mean, I'm new to government myself.
Yes.
And I have seen and learned a lot in the process. And I think with the number of years he's been in government, he should actually be truthful with the citizens.
Okay, so you think they're motivated by what?
He wants to win the election. And I think he's looking for all manner of ways to win the elections. And so maybe that's his drive. He wants to be in the news every day.
Yeah.
And maybe this is one way of being in the news every day.
All right. So you've talked about being new in government. Have you, however, been on the campaign trail? As I mentioned, 48 days to go, all systems go, all hands on deck. Have yours been on deck to campaign for the president to get re-elected?
And they have been, since I started, since I got into government, every day I have been working for the Kenyan people. The government has been working for the Kenyan citizens. So we have been out there. The Constitution requires and mandates us as government to inform citizens of the activities that we're involved in, to tell them how we're spending their money. And we've been doing this. You've seen the town halls, you've seen even the State House summits that we've had. So there's nothing new that is happening. We are out there, only that it's an election time. Many allegations are being said about the things we have done or not done in terms of as government. So we're responding to some of those. And it may be seen as campaigning. For us as cabinet secretaries, we are allowed to campaign.
You are, because we've seen NASA come out at a press conference a few days ago saying they will sue if the DPP move to court, does not take action against CSs, PSs, saying that it is not in your place to at least hit the campaign trail in the nature of rallies, as we've seen. You
know, Section 23 of the Leadership and Ethics Act, or Integrity Act, says or excludes cabinet secretaries from being stopped from campaigning.
Yeah.
Which means we can actually campaign. My position, I was given this job by the president. It's a political appointee that I've been given. So I can go out and talk about the many things that we have done. In fact, I can tell people how I intend to vote. Because it's important that people understand where we're going. And the Constitution and the laws allow me to do that. So they can go and go to court and so on. And I expect the courts will rule in our favor.
Yeah, but as far as, and it's not illegal as you're outlining, but perception-wise. Because yes, you're an appointee of the president, but set to serve all Kenyans. And there's some Kenyans who don't necessarily support the president. And when they see you out in the campaign trail, somebody would perhaps think to themselves, oh, the next time, they're coming to seek services in your ministry, then if they're not a supporter of the party you support, then perhaps they'll not get as quick a treatment. The perception,
those are perceptions, but if you actually
which are important, aren't they?
But if you work with perceptions, look at what the Jubilee government has done. Electricity across the whole country. It's not that it's in just Jubilee strongholds. It's across the country. Roads across the country. Water. There's nothing that's being done just for specific communities. So they should be looking at the delivery and what we have actually done as government, not at the perceptions. There's real stuff going on. The SGR has gone across so many counties. We're not picking on people, and they should feel and trust the government. They should trust the president in that when he says he's doing this for all Kenyans, it is for all Kenyans.
Yeah, and the use of government resources as well, that's a concern, whether it's footing the bills for the CSs as they hit the campaign trails. Some Kenyans fear, even perhaps in some of the ads, some of the billboards we're going to see and are seeing being put up, that it's taxpayers' money that's going into a re-election campaign.
As I said, the Constitution and the Access to Information Act requires that we inform the citizens of what it is that we're doing. So we have been empowered We have the mandate to go out and let the citizens know and see the activities. That
Using
we do.
taxpayers' money.
It is their money, and we are telling them what the Constitution requires us to do. And it's not that we've just started this. As I mentioned, we've been doing this from 2013. There are many activities that CSs, PSs have been involved in, and there's nothing new in what we're doing. I think it's only that the opposition now is trying to raise concerns. They want us not to talk to citizens. Surely, they're going out there and making allegations.
All right.
They're saying, for instance, there's no railway that was stolen. You go there, you'll see the SGR exists. And we have to go out and show people that it exists.
All right.
But we cannot do that with our own resources. We're in government.
Let's talk about a program you're setting up, of course, spearheading alongside other ministries and stakeholders, the Ajira Digital program. Tell us what that is about.
So Ajira Digital is, we've said as a country, we're going digital. We have moved from analog to digital, and in the world today, the trend is moving where people are working online. They're using their computers, fast internet, wherever they are, and they can service many companies across continents, across the world. As we speak today, there's over 750,000 jobs available today for our Kenyan youth to be able to work on. What they don't have is, one, awareness. Some don't have the skills that they need to be able to work. Some don't have connectivity. And so what we're doing as government with the Ajira Digital program is we're training the youth, letting them know that these jobs exist, and taking them out, giving them the skills so that they can go out and start working.
Yeah.
So the jobs actually already exist. We're also encouraging local companies to put jobs online so that also our youth can be able to do those jobs.
Yeah.
And eventually government is also going to post jobs online.
All right. So one last question, because this program promises to give and provide 1 million jobs to the youth by December of this year. So we are about 6 months out. And that was the promise given by the Jubilee administration when they came into office in 2013. 1 million was the target in 5 years. So why is it you think, in a period of 6 months, you can do what really, because the target was not met, has not been met, in such a short period of time?
So first, the target we have done, or Jubilee government has done over 800,000 jobs a year. That's more than 3.2 million jobs. That's a lot of jobs that have already been created. They've been created in the small and medium-sized enterprises, jobs in the textile sector, even SGR and so on. So it's not that that has not been met. We have improved the environment in which people are working. We've made it easier. In fact, as a country, we moved from 123 to 92 in the ease of doing business, 44 places. So we've made it easier for business to operate. Those jobs are traditional jobs. We're talking about digital and online jobs that exist already. There's millions of jobs out there. We've actually just assessed the 750,000 available today that Kenyans can do. So we're not creating new things. What we're doing is that we're empowering our Kenyan youth to be able to access those jobs.
So those who'd want to access, how do they do that quickly?
They go to ajiradigital.go.ke, where they will register, and we'll start providing them the training. We're already training over 10,000. We have over 60,000 people waiting youth. So they need to work with us even after August so that they can have all these jobs.
They're not being baited as a campaign.
We've been doing this even before, but there's no harm in them knowing that we have their interest at hand.
At heart. Many thanks, CS. A pleasure having you on KTN Prime. CS ICT Joe Mucheru with us here on KTN Prime. We are taking a break, but before that, let's remind you a big question. Tonight, we're asking, do you think Raila's frequent allegations against various agencies are all based on genuine concerns? Keep your thoughts coming at Ben_Kitili.